That shirt's getting ripped, huh?
Is it?
Oh man, it's a sad.
Oh, dude, no! I got turned into a cutoff.
This is the shirt from all the viral videos.
Yep, don't at me. This is the one.
It's the rainbow shirt.
Bill Burr knows this shirt.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Burr this is the merch that we need, honestly. Listen, if you're out there, because I share my stuff, I got genius ideas, and I give it to people. Everywhere I go, people love this shirt. They ask me if it's Versace.
You just got it at what, like Marshalls or something?
TJ Maxx, $5 shirt.
Wow.
But see, I think something about these letters.
I always look at that shirt and think it's like it was like a rainbow shirt.
What do you mean?
It's like a rainbow flag. It looks like a pride shirt or something.
Oh, nah, man, that ain't rainbow, dude.
It is. Look at the colors.
Those aren't
They're in
rainbow
different
colors.
Yeah, they are. They're in a different order, but they are rainbow colors.
Well, they're missing the light ones.
Yeah.
The pink.
The white. I mean, the T is white. If you rearrange
that
those, that is a rainbow shirt.
See, it's all about that. Well, maybe, that's what's in.
Oh, what else is it?
I just thought it was like some Versace, some Sesame Street stuff.
All right. What is going through your mind when you look at a shirt like that? Do you think it's like this is going to be like a funny shirt, or you really think that looks like it's like a cool look?
Honestly, to me, it did. It resembled like what I thought. It looked like one of those shirts that are. It's really tight now, but it looked like one of those shirts that you see for like $800. Like the special.
Like in Soho.
Yeah, or not even that. Like, dude, what's crazy is the what is that place? It's on like 14th. I thought it was way cheaper than it is. It's not Target. You go up the steps. It's like a TJ Maxx, but like an expensive one.
Yeah.
You know that one? Like it's by the Container Store.
Ah, that's TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Downstairs is Marshalls. Upstairs TJ Maxx.
Yeah, and the shirts at that TJ Maxx are like $800. Did you know that?
Well, they're marked down from like $8,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got my. Yeah, I've gotten there before. It's nice.
This is what this looks like. That you see some shit like this there for like $400.
Wow. See, to me, that looks like something you would buy in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Next to the shirt that says New York fucking city.
Well, you don't really look at those high end clothes. I mean, you're the Amazon Basics guy.
I guess.
But
this
you
doesn't
fit
look,
in.
But nah, this doesn't look like. I would not look at that shirt and think Versace, of all things.
But do you know Versace clothes?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Or Guess, maybe.
I don't know.
It could look like Guess to me.
Yeah. Maybe that is like your merch move, though. It's like everybody else wants to put a picture of themselves or their catchphrase. You could just make up random shit like that.
Yeah.
As long as you're wearing it, then you could be selling it, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I feel like the catchphrase is the way to go because people see the video. They love those. They love what you say.
Yeah, but maybe not. Maybe you could just sell it. You could sell anything, really. Yeah. Energy drink.
I could see myself.
ADD. What about like ADD medicine?
I'm not going down that route. That whole Joe Rogan medicine. I ain't doing that.
Nah, this is gonna get you out of slow. It's called slow class medicine.
I wonder.
Get you reading right.
Yeah, maybe some like maybe bookmarks or something. No, nobody's reading books.
Yeah, you gotta think people are doing drugs.
Yeah, pre-rolls.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like pushing that type of stuff. You know what I'd like to push? I always thought about. I had one shirt I loved. It said Unity, and I was always like, "Yo, I would get this as merch."
Wow.
Like
bring people together.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Yeah.
We all need to be together.
I don't think that's what sells though. The things that sells are what divides people.
Well, you got to get. Well, that's if you're going for the short term money.
Yeah.
But you got to get the Unity. And then you tell people, a percentage goes to orphanages. We're teaching kids how to become friends.
Right.
It's called the small circle group. You come up with something like that.
Yep.
Team up with somebody, embezzle thousands. Sure, I got BMW, but hey, look, that kid's got a friend too. So
we bought some socks for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids need socks.
Kids need socks.
What about like a weightlifting belt?
Nah.
That'd be tight. Nah, to show.
Yeah,
close
but
out your show.
Working out.
Nah, people are working out. Too many people are working out.
I do a set of deadlifts.
Yeah. You end the show with some bench presses.
Yeah.
And you just, you flex on them.
I worked with one guy, dude, the plumber, one of these guys like
has like a gimmick.
Yeah, and his whole thing was he has a pipe he comes out with an elbow, and so many people bought it off of him. Just a pipe.
At his show?
Yeah.
He closes his show by doing plumbing?
Yeah. He shows people how to, he goes, this is the most common problem. And honestly, I learned from it. It works. You impress a girl with this one. So like plumbing, except for, I don't know, our sink was all messed up. I didn't want to mess with it. There was like,
well, there's like the U thing under the
yeah,
the
but dude, our sink though, I looked at it once. There's pipes I've never even seen. There's like gas pipes there. You know, people rig stuff up.
Somebody did something creative with that.
So I looked at that like, I don't even see the pipe this dude's talking about, but rubber car hoses and stuff. But this the U, I think that's called the trap.
Yeah.
And even if you're more expensive ones, they have a bolt that just comes off.
Yeah.
And you could clean it out. But women's sinks, the trap always gets hair and razors and
it just builds up. And
marbles in there or whatever. You know, these women are crazy. And then you just empty that out, and then that's it. So he shows everybody how to do that, and then he holds up the pipe and sells it.
That's his stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
this is his closer.
That's his closer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got this thing. He drags it out.
So when he goes to his show, he just has like a container of like, he goes to Home Depot and just gets a bunch of U-shaped pipes.
Well, there's a makeshift sink set up on stage.
Wow.
It's a little distracting, but dude, people know.
Wait, this is a cruise ship or this is the club?
No, this is the clubs.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the club in.
This dude was thinking,
Jersey, I think.
This guy was like, I mean, I don't know how you start doing that kind of act.
You got to be a plumber.
He was thinking, but I mean, like, you know how it is. You get the idea, and you got to do it for the first time on stage.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going to, who knows if it's going to work. And you're closing with it, too.
Yeah, it's your big
closer. If it bombs, it's like.
Well, it was like my close. He's got all these punchlines. You see that pipe? And then he had a joke for it.
Wow.
You know, people loved him, dude.
This is like Larry the Cable Guy.
Those are those types of fans, like, where you get them, like, and they'll start throwing punches in the air. You know, they're like.
It's like a rally.
Yeah, they'll just be like, yeah, and then they'll be getting them. The plumber, you know.
The thing is, though, it's like, are his fans, like, fellow plumbers? Or these are just like regular people who just appreciate the fact that they got a plumber on stage.
They look like
other plumbers, you can't tell them shit about a U-shaped pipe.
Oh yeah, they'll be shouting it out.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
it's an Allen wrench.
Yeah. You turn it the other way, dude. Can you imagine?
No, but I feel like if you can just do basic like housework like that, but you're showing people who live in Manhattan or something.
Yeah,
you could really blow somebody's mind.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Little things. You see it on TikTok all the time, how to fix a hole in the wall.
Well, how many people hired you on TaskRabbit to, like, replace a light bulb or something?
Right, and they were always so worried about their floors. This dude's like, I warn you, got a little anxiety about my floors.
Yeah.
Dude, I walk in, he had paper taped everywhere on his floors.
Wow.
He's like, if you don't mind, just on your tippy toes, heels, they could mash into the wood.
Wow.
And I guess the doorman told me he spent $100,000 on rosewood floors for his apartment he bought in New York.
Wow.
I mean, the place was like probably $5 million. It was nice. It overlooked the park, beautiful, up by the 80s too, man.
Wow.
But I don't know if I'd want to live way up there. But yeah, couldn't even see the floors. But this will show you something. Dude, this guy hired me to just bring this little nightstand in that I could have picked up and carried in. And he was like, no, I got a guy with a dolly coming. And it's a little, dude, it's like something like, we could easily pick it up, 40 pounds, and set it down wherever. So I'm waiting. He's like, don't worry, I'll pay you. You want a drink? He hires another guy to do the job while I'm there. I did nothing. And then he wouldn't let me. The dolly shows up. He goes, I don't know about those wheels. I don't want to put that on my floor.
Wow.
And dude, I seen it in his face. Like he was about to cry. I'm like, no, dude, it's going to be all right. You got paper down. It's got rubber wheels. Or I could just pick it up. And he's like, hold on. And he calls this other dude. And this dude doesn't even know English. And this dude just told him it's okay and did it. This guy's like, oh, watch out. And the dude just did it anyways.
Wow.
He's like, no, it's finished. Looks finished. Floor's nice.
Yeah.
And then the guy's telling me, see, this guy's good. I'm like, no, I could have did that same thing.
Yeah.
I just was over here trying to please you. And this dude was like, it's just another rich man that don't know shit.
Wow.
I'm just doing it.
See, all in, this dude probably spent like $400 to get a table moved into his house.
Yeah, I was getting 50 an hour. I was there for about 5 hours. So that's TaskRabbit's 50
But I mean, it's
too.
not even that. I mean, that kind of gig happens, but there's also like the kind of gig where they think this is going to take them 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you get there and it's like drill, drill, drill. Oops. But then, yeah, people will hire you just to like, turn off their faucet or something.
Yeah. I had one, dude. One of the strangest ones I had was going to somebody's house, and this dude had another intention. I don't know if you've ever had one of these happen. It was up in Washington Heights, and it was to build a little shoe rack. And I show up there, and he's like, yeah, I don't have a shoe rack. And the dude's in his underwear, and he's all being mad flirtatious.
Wow.
You want a drink? The shoe rack was supposed to be here. I'm happy to pay you to hang out for an hour.
Wow.
And I just sat there and hung out with the dude. He made me hang for the full hour.
Huh.
Got me drinks, kept throwing in little lines.
Wow.
He was just like, is you Italian?
Well, I mean, he's paying you for the hour.
Yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah.
Just sat there with a guy in his underwear.
Wow. You have a service you have to render.
Yep. And then one time, I remember I had one delivering food. Dude, this is so dumb. I don't even know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast. But I had brought cookies to these girls crazy late. And, dude, they were completely in bed, like in lingerie. They're like, come in. They're like, is this the scene of a porno? I was like, it's against policy. I can't sit on the bed. And I left. I didn't want to get fired.
Wow. That was all to make about $4.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And then I quit the job anyway.
Yeah.
You know what made me quit Postmates? When they stopped allowing tips on juices. For some reason, all I did was juice deliveries.
Oh, yeah.
Remember you get $4 a delivery?
Yeah.
Takes an hour?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, you got to tip. Takes 1 hour. These people buying these juices, they live like way out 12th Avenue.
Yeah.
You're walking in the wintertime, pissing in the shrubs.
There were a couple times where I did those juice deliveries, though, where something got screwed up and they just let me keep all this juice.
Yeah.
So I remember walking around. It was like I was about to drop off, but then like the app glitched out. And they were like, I called the support. They were like, oh, you could just keep all of it. So I was just in like Madison Square Park with like $90 of green juice.
Wow.
And it was all about to go bad or something. So I'm just like chugging juice. I got all sick in the middle of the park. Pretty nice though.
You don't waste stuff, man. I would have just drank 1 or 2 and left them.
Left them for what, though?
I mean,
it's valuable goods.
Am I getting sick?
Well, I mean, it was like one of those things where I feel sick and healthy at the same time.
Yeah.
Where it's like my body isn't used to all this kind of nutrients coming in at once. Goes to show how rich people live, though. You drink one of those green juices, you feel like a superhuman for a while.
Yeah, I used to drink 1 a day. I made a rule back in the day. I was like, hey, it's $5. I had a place in Harlem, made them for $5, $4.50, and I would just do one every day.
Yeah.
I did it for about 90 days. I felt great.
That's what you got to get into, man.
Yeah, we got one over here too. I just had one yesterday.
But I mean, merchandise.
Sell those green juices.
Dom's green juices. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I think you would have to get into like slightly better shape to sell that kind of stuff effectively.
I just don't see
But
that stuff selling.
No, it's selling to you.
I see it being a hassle, though.
I guess. Well, it's like, Macrocine was selling spaghetti sauce or something.
Was he?
Yeah. After shows.
Wow, dude, he brought spaghetti sauce with him.
It was like a big thing for him, but I think logistically it was a problem because it's like you got to carry a bunch of sauce.
Hell yeah. I know a guy that sells books, dude. I was like, oh yeah, I'll grab your luggage. We were on the ships together, about 190 pounds of luggage. I'm like, dude, I can't even physically move this. He's like, yeah, you got to be strong, man. And then we're on the ship together. Dude sold 2 books.
Wow.
He's like, well, yeah, I'm going on another ship after this. I got to bring like 100 with me.
Huh.
I'm just like, dude, I don't know. He's like, they want the physical book. And people did. I remember that people were like, where's that dude with the book? He was only on 2 days.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is his name. You can get one off his website. And
yeah.
Like, I just wanted the signed copy.
What kind of book was it?
It was about his life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, people will read anything.
Wow.
Nobody even knows who this dude is.
Huh.
There was one dude got a really good book about how his parents snuck out of Cuba. They might be turned into a movie.
Yeah,
He's an older guy. He's got this like
it's like Scarface.
Yeah, like an hour joke about it. And yeah, they did a lot. They got him in America, and he's a comedian. But yeah, he was saying these companies might make it. A director reached out to him from his book.
Wow.
You never know who you're gonna meet. He sold it to the director and the audience.
Huh. Yeah, you never know. You get to you sell your weightlifting belt to somebody. Next thing you know, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, maybe spaghetti sauce. And you know, this podcast, I'm telling you, we're going to be the only people selling salami, and people love charcuterie boards.
That's true.
And we'll have one set up here.
Yeah.
A little bit of ham when we have a guest over.
I don't know. Do you know how they actually make spaghetti? I mean, not spaghetti, salami, or like cured meats?
Yeah.
You just like dump a bunch of stuff into a thing, and then you like crank it out, right?
Well, I think some of this stuff too, like the hams and the stuff for the charcuterie board, you basically, there's a lot of smacking involved. I seen one made.
Yeah.
You put salt on it, you smack it a little.
But the idea is that you take like a bunch of different meats, and then you like put them into it's like a casing, right? For like a sausage.
Yeah, like you'd have like you mean for that?
Yeah.
Well, I even mean like the charcuterie boards where it's all different types of ham and meat.
Right.
And yeah, salami.
But I mean, to actually like physically make the sausage.
Well, you don't want to see how the sausage is made.
I think you do. I'm curious. People say that, but I think like once we figure out what that process is, we can start adding our own, herbs and spices.
One time, man, I thought I was slick. I was broke. My landlord kept like charging me little things, like the dumbest reasons. He'd be like, like he was doing the math in his head. You had the air conditioner on this long last night.
Yeah.
I need $10 or something. And, whatever. But I started stealing his food. He had like salami in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then one time he cut a piece, and then he cut another piece. He gave it to me. And then I'm eating it acting like I never had it before. I've been eating this stuff for 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man, this is good. So what is this? He goes, pig snout. I'm like,
wow.
Oh, my God, dude.
Well, I mean, that's what it's always been.
I never read the back of it.
No, but I mean, that's why they say don't look at what's in the sausage. But I mean, like, it tastes good.
Yeah, we would get good salami, get the cheeks and the jowls of the
Well, I think
mammal.
there's like different herbs and it's like KFC.
Yeah.
17 herbs and spices. You throw it in the mix. We get like a proprietary thing that no one else has.
I like that salami with the dirt on the outside. You ever see that dirty pepper?
Yeah. Put a little bit of that, or how about we mix in some like wasabi?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put some Japanese stuff in there.
Put some Japanese stuff in there, a little soy sauce, wasabi. Not too much, but just enough to give it like a kick.
Dude, that is smart. See, when you think about that, that's the best of both worlds if we're mixing together a little Japanese stuff, some ginger, some green tea.
Well, you got to do it where it's like you taste it, you're like, I don't even know what this is.
Right.
No one else has it, though. All these other guys are doing like traditional salami.
Yeah.
We got it's like Breaking Bad where they're putting pepper in the
Japanese and Italian.
Yeah.
Wasabi salami.
And then
dude, listen to it.
Somebody else will try to like copy it.
Oh, yeah.
We got to send some goons to their house with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Like nobody else puts wasabi in their salami but us.
Well, people
the tri-state area.
People know the carbon copy. Like, dude, do you see there's a lot of people, I've seen it, dude. There's some people I know that are literally doing pretty much the same exact thing I'm doing on IG. I'm not going to say I was the first one to do it, but out of our friend groups.
Yeah, I mean, people get influenced by stuff. But it's like, I mean, if we started making our own like salami and prosciutto, and we started adding in like spices, like Japanese spices, and then somebody else did that, then I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Now we're doing, that's a bit much.
Yeah, you don't even have a Japanese friend.
You're going to hear from my lawyer about this one.
Yeah, and then they'll call you up.
Yeah. Or they're instead of making salami, they're going to start making like turkey or something gross.
We'd have to give it for a fair price. I can't stand all these people that are like, oh, yeah, you got to really hit them. Like you see some people, their hoodies are like $85. They're like, the people will pay. I'm just like, dude, I don't want to do that.
Well, the idea is that like, I mean, you think that, but that's because you don't have a luxury mindset. The idea now behind like merch drops, or like, like you see those guys lined up outside of Supreme store because they're trying to buy a Supreme wallet. That's like $200. If you raise the price enough and you make it like a limited quantity, like, oh, we're only making 30 of these salamis. Then each of those salamis becomes more valuable in people's minds.
Wow.
Then people will spend $1,000 for a salami.
Dude,
It's
you're
like,
smart.
I got one of 30. But it's like if you try to go the Walmart method where it's like, oh, I got 1,000 salamis, I got to move.
Yeah.
Then people are going to be like, no, I'll give you $2 for that.
You're just chucking salamis in crowds.
Yeah, well, it's like the, Crazy Eddie. It's like this guy, or it's like one of those, you watch those used car commercials in a small town. It's like, oh, I got too many Chevrolets. We got to slash these prices. And it's like
come on down to Crazy Eddie's where the prices are crazy.
Price slashing ninja.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in and slices a watermelon.
Oh, dude, that's a good commercial.
Yeah, but it's like that mentality is like it comes off as desperate. You got to come across like, oh man, I only got 20 of these Chevrolets.
Yeah.
So come get them.
They're practically giving them away.
Yeah. And there's like a doing.
Yeah,
sound.
You got radios.
Yeah.
Do people buy radios anymore?
Yeah.
I bet that when radios hit the 80s and 90s, people probably lost their mind with the lights and everything.
Oh, you mean like the front panel?
Yeah.
And then
Think about that's all Crazy Eddie was selling. Remember, he's like, and we got stereo equipment.
Yeah.
Ninja comes in.
But I was like, that you're going for the hard sell then. You got to be like, no, I'm trying to help you out.
Kanye West style. Remember he had that speaker?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to put a song on this speaker. It's only available on this speaker for $300.
People like the idea of something that might sell out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's only so many of these. I got to get in line now. I got to wait in line overnight. Or, remember those guys hired you to get those sneakers or something?
I almost feel guilty, though, taking advantage of people.
Ah, you got to get out of that mindset. You got to get into the capitalist mindset.
I don't want
scarcity.
Then you get people that are anxious at like 7 o'clock. They're trying to get off work
Get
so
your
they
salami.
can buy the thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking to their therapist.
They're hiring a homeless guy just to wait in line to buy salami.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted a piece of salami and
Well,
I had
then-
to work to
And
eat.
you get like a viral video where it's like the worker has to come out and these people like, no more salami today. Everybody freaks out.
Yeah.
Starts fighting.
Yeah, and then we'd have to get some red carpet and ropes.
Yeah, but then one of them, somebody in the crowd points to somebody across the street like he's got one.
Yeah.
And they're all chasing after him.
Yeah.
That's how you build demand. for
Get
yourself.
'em, yeah.
They're all fighting.
People getting killed over salami. And you know what we'd have to do? We'd have to do a giveaway in Union Square. Give away salamis and new PlayStations.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's only going to be 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants it more?
Signed salamis.
And we go down to Canal Street in Chinatown, and there's like these Chinese, there's a bunch of African dudes selling fake salamis. We got to call 311.
We got our picture on it, but it's a little bit off.
Yeah, right.
Some of the picture looks like it was printed wrong.
Scott Bryan came on it.
Yeah, it's a dude from...
There's a lot of possibilities here. That's all I'm saying. Is that you gotta make yourself feel like, oh, there's only one of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People get the idea that like with social media that you got to be ubiquitous and you have to be constantly available, but it's like no, you got to build the demand and then pull back. Imagine having like just like merchandise where it's like, oh, this is a one of one.
And you know what's weird too? Like it's almost like that with anything. Once people get to know you too much and they're around you too much, like then it's just you're just a normal guy because you're 3-4 days in a row. But the first time they see you, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's you." And then they see you again 5 more times that week, and they're just like, "Yo."
Eventually, they're like, "Hey, help me move this couch."
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, "Oh, what happened to the excitement?
Yeah.
You were in the mix too much."
Yep. I was supposed to be the Instagram guy. Yeah, can you just grab that end, help me get up the steps?
Yeah. Why am I mounting your TV now?
You ever know those people that would never ask for help for nothing? I remember my father had this classic 68 GTO, and he was trying to push it out of a hole in the ground. It sunk or something, and it's an impossible task. And I'm like, let's just get the neighbor. He's like, no, I'll owe him a favor.
Wow.
I ain't trying
Old
to.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to owe nobody. And he got it out of there.
This is like, it's like The Godfather.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, you can't ask a favor now, or you're going to have to come back and, hide the body at some point.
That's how they always do it. They'll
Yeah.
overpay you. Here's $500 to wash my car. And
Yeah,
next
someday
thing you know,
I'm going to ask you a favor.
Yeah, go fix these slot machines.
Yeah. I mean, like, there are some guys who it's like, like pro wrestlers or like athletes where they like, you got to pay them $50 just to take a picture with them.
Right. Would you ever do that though? I feel dirty.
I think that's like, there's certain moves you make early in your career and there's certain moves you make late in your career when you're on the way down.
Yeah.
And then you're just trying to grab whatever money you can. But it's like right now you're still like in the upswing. So you still got to like make good moves.
Right.
But we got to think like what you're going to do like, maybe 40 years from now when you're trying to retire and you're still on the road.
Yeah.
And you're, divorced a couple times.
Yep.
You owe some alimony. Then you got to start thinking about like, all right, how am I going to really like cash out on this shit?
Yeah, I got to make as much as I could. It's $20 a picture.
Yeah, well, not even that, but it's like $80, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get into a quick couple rounds in the ring with Dom?
Yeah, you're right.
Your back's all fucked up.
Fighting grizzly bears.
Yeah.
You know what it would be too? I'd get famous for something weird. I'd do like, Pookie the bear or something,
Yeah.
Have little kids all there, or like some Pee Wee Herman stuff.
It ends though.
Just do the voice. Get the hell out of my face.
Yeah. How'd you find my address?
Yeah. Hot pockets.
Hey, you're gonna be in the woods. Somehow your address is gonna get posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
Bunch of kids are gonna show up.
Pookie, we love you.
Say the line.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You're trying to ask them for money afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get $5.
Yeah. Buy my DVD.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you guys you got to pay for those pictures.
I mean, we've seen it though. You've seen these old guys. You see it all the time. On these ships, it's like the show business doesn't have a good ending for anybody.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, like there's a part of the career where it's like eventually you're still out, the business sends you out there, but it leaves you out there as well.
Yeah, and then you always get stuck in the mindset from when you were famous because, that's the mindset that you have. So
your standards are still up there.
Yeah, like, people that got famous back in the day, like 40 years ago or 30 years ago, they're not, you see them around a woman now, they're definitely not politically correct. They're saying stuff that was okay 30 years ago.
It's like dice.
That would be me. I'd be famous. I wouldn't know times changed, and I'd be saying some regular stuff. I'd be like, hey, yo, Toots, why don't you come over here and sit with me for a second?
I'm the dry salami guy.
Yeah, I'm Pookie the bear.
Yeah. You remember that song, I Wish I Was a Little Bit Taller?
No.
Skilo.
Mm-mm.
This was a big song like the early 90s. It was like kind of a one-hit wonder rap song.
Yeah.
About a guy who wishes he was taller.
Huh.
You would like it.
Yeah.
But like that was like a massive hit song, but he was basically a one-hit wonder. It was just one moment. But he was still doing shows. Like I remember like 10 years ago when I was living in San Diego, he did like a local show at like a bar. My friend was working sound for him, and he said that the guy walked in, and he was like, "Oh, where's the green room?" He comes in with like his entourage.
Yeah.
And my friend had to explain to him, it's like, dude, there's no green room here.
Oh, man.
We're in an Irish pub. This is it. And then, the guy just rocked out a show for like, 50 people or something.
Wow.
Probably got paid, a few $100 in cash. Get back in the car, get back in the road.
Wow.
That's how it ends.
Yeah. End up at a damn Irish bar.
Yeah.
Was he short?
He is a short guy. I mean, that's why he wished he was taller.
What is it with these tall guys when you get around some women, they got to start bringing height up all the time? You notice that?
I would do the same thing.
Yeah, but that's a low move. It's like, I'm a tall dude. It's weird when you see it like a real short dude. And I'll be like, bro, shut up. Like, what are you doing?
Next thing you know, they're picking you up.
Yeah. Yep, that's the way it always ends. And then the girl sitting there would be like, oh, yeah, he is short. What is up with short men?
That thing where you stand behind somebody and then you lock arms with them and you go like this.
Yeah.
You pick them up. It's a bad look. You're on the wrong side. You're always going to be on the wrong side of that.
And well, sometimes they just pick you up and run away. That's what happens to me a lot. I'm taking them away.
Next thing you know, you're on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah. I'm taking your boyfriend away. And then they pick you up and run you 3 blocks down the street.
Yeah. Well, like your girl sees your legs dangling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a little kid.
And then the dude's all in the inbox later. Hey, remember when I picked your boyfriend up? Man, he's light.
Well, they pick the one thing that you have no control over.
Yep.
Yeah, what are you gonna? Yeah, you can't get taller.
And then what do? Your lady doesn't feel the same around you. She don't want to hold your hand.
Well, you're trying to compensate too by like putting your arms up like this,
and you gotta
bench pressing or something. But it's like, no, you're not gonna get taller.
Well, when they pick you up, the move is you got to get extra mad and hope that works. But if it don't work, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
You don't want to be yelling, "Hey, I'm serious. You better put me down."
Yeah.
And they're running away with you.
You know what? I bet like it would have been a much easier time to be around. Would have been like early '80s when Mike Tyson was first on his upswing.
Oh yeah.
That's when short guys were like, no, this. I mean, Mike Tyson wasn't short, but for a boxer, a heavyweight boxer, he was like a short dude. So it's like, I'm you would be looking up to Mike Tyson, where it's like, I'm gonna just learn how to fight.
And dude, also I'll tell you what, platform era. Like it's not a coincidence that's right around when platforms were big.
Right.
Then we hit the baby boom era. Like
yeah,
you got to think girls didn't know. These guys, everybody was 6 foot.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, imagine how happy women were when they went out to the bar.
Well, at a certain point, you got to take off those shoes, though.
Yeah, but by the time you take them off, I mean, you're already back at the apartment.
Yeah.
Ubers weren't as cheap back then.
That's true, yeah.
These girls are like, hey, it's 5'5", but, it's also...
I'm already here.
Yeah, I'm already here.
It is funny how much of, like, dating does come down to I'm already here.
Well, also, the move with the platform shoes is when you walk in the girl's house... You can't go to her house because she'll be like, oh yeah, you see the sign, shoes off.
Right.
You can't do that. You got to say, no, we're going to my house. You can wear your shoes in there.
Oh yeah. They put a sign in your house that says keep your shoes on.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then you're good. You just got to kind of walk light so you're not thunking too much.
Right, yeah.
And the next thing you know, you got a family.
Right. You got a short family.
That's the way it works. One girl told me, she goes, you're a nice guy, but if you ever got me pregnant, I'd have to get rid of it because you're short and you're really not smart or athletic.
I just got you there.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
This girl looked into my soul.
I was like, you know me
smart
so
girl.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was smart.
I got a bunch of other problems too.
Yeah. Walk with my feet out.
Yeah. How tall is your dad?
He was 5'5", but as you get older, 5'6", you get shorter. Like my grandpa was 5'8", dude. He was about 4 foot tall when he got older.
So your kids are legitimately gonna be.
Well, I genuinely talk to taller girls.
Right. Yeah.
I hate when I talk to all taller girls.
Genetically, does it average out between the man and the woman, or is one side? I think it's like balding, where like it's like they pick. Your genes go to one side or the other, right?
I don't know, to be honest with you. You never know. I mean, these things. Half the time, it's not even the father's kids.
Right.
Let's be honest. Listen, we tried to have a baby. You wanted kids.
Right. Yeah.
You couldn't get the job done, Sarah.
Yeah. That's why your baby looks half Latino. Oh.
Right. But you're proud of him.
Yeah.
Look what I made. Well, yeah, that kid's not yours. I hate to tell you this.
Any man can be a father. But.
I don't know, but when I talk to taller girls, a lot of times I see them trying to be shorter, and I don't like that. It's like, stand up straight. Like, you'll see them bend their knees a little, and they'll slouch. They'll be like, we're the same height. They try to tell you you're 5'9". It's like, no, believe me, I know I'm not.
I think psychologically, it's like... Well, 5'9" is one thing, but I think once you meet women who are like 6'2" and up, and between 6'2" and like 6'7", like basketball height.
Yeah,
that's when you women start getting embarrassed for their height.
Yeah.
Up until 6'2", it's like, no, it's kind of cool to be a tall girl.
Yeah,
but it's like once you get too tall, then it's like, all right, this is weird.
Even 6'2" girls are a little embarrassed of their height.
Well, you're always like kind of bending over to get into a car or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's always, you feel like you're in the way.
It's like when you see them Great Dane puppies trying to grow into their legs. That's how they look.
Yeah, it's a tough look.
Yeah, it's like that. You got to get used to them long legs.
Well, I think every group of women, there's always like, it's a group of like 5 friends.
Yeah.
And most of them are all like, 5'3", 5'4". But then there's always one girl in the group who's like 6'3".
Yeah.
And she's, the last one to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's all extra
She's in the
polite.
bridal party, and they got to like put her on the side of the photo.
She'll babysit your cat.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, call up that tall girl.
Yeah.
She'll watch the cat. Hey, you guys.
Put her off to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the truth. Then there's that one that's, the weight fluctuates. You won't see them for 3 months. They gain like 160 pounds. And then you see them again, then they're anorexic. It's like, what's going on here?
Right. Yeah.
Did you get a new friend?
They still haven't figured out. I mean, like, everybody talks about the surgery where you break your legs. And
I'm
going
to get it one day.
But it's like, think about what they did for fat people with Ozempic. Where it's like, no, this works. I mean, like, there might be a downside, but basically it's like there are thousands of people who are taking Ozempic and getting skinny.
I know so many.
But it's like there has to be like, I don't know if there's even research being done about what we can inject into our bodies to get taller.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like,
but just think, I mean, like, for the amount of uptake that you've seen for Ozempic and all those kinds of like weight loss drugs, how big would it be if you could take a pill and get taller?
Well, there is those shots that they give to certain kids when they're not growing right, and but you have to do it at a young age. You can't be 38 and do it. But I know a kid that had that problem to where he wasn't growing right.
Yeah,
and they gave him.
Well, it's like
shots.
Hormones or something, right?
Yeah, it's weird though. Like I don't think they gave him the shots in the legs and arms. I think in his growth plates or whatever, but they didn't do his shoulders. So he's got like toddler shoulders and he's like 6'3".
Rough.
Yeah, dude, and they shot up a lot in there.
See, that's why you got to be detail oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get the shoulders.
Well, yeah, 90% is not enough. We need a doctor who's really going to follow through on these things.
Dude, when I tell you this dude's got no shoulders, I mean, dude, he can't even wear a tank top. It'll slip off. Like, it's just neck, arms.
See, I mean, like, and that the problem with that, too, is that, there is zero research being done on shoulders.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got enough guys working on fat and tall. It's like we can't fix your shoulders for you.
And you can't build the muscle. It's like you don't see 6-month-old babies working their shoulders. There's nothing there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was always like, I remember being in elementary school and like people would always tell me that like, oh, my doctor tells me I'm going to be, 6 feet tall someday. But it's like, first off, my doctor never came up.
Right.
I don't even think I asked. But I really don't think doctors know.
No.
I mean, like,
doctors don't even know what's wrong with your damn common throat problem.
They're not going to guess how tall you're going to be in 20 years.
Right.
And even if they do, they are just guessing. It's like they don't.
I used to always ask my doctor if I could get a beard. Like from the time I was like 11, he'd be like, Dom, we've been going through this for years. You're probably not going to grow facial hair.
Wow.
Even when I was like 28, I'd still be waiting for the beard to come in.
Can you not grow facial hair?
I mean, I could grow it, but it's just not a full-on beard.
Have you tried?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, my grandfather was telling me, he warned me about it. He goes, don't be looking forward to having a beard.
That was the only advice he gave you.
Yeah. He said when I was a kid, I always wanted a beard.
Nobody in your family has a beard?
Well, he said he had one, but he said you just got to let it grow for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then you comb it over.
Wow.
He goes, you got to brush it over.
Is he like, he had like the full thick
no,
nice
his was just brushed over.
Okay, yeah.
It was kind of like Trump's hair. The wind would blow, you'd see some raw flesh.
Patchy looking, yeah. How long have you tried to actually let it grow?
In the pandemic, I mean, it got long, but it's like Mark Wahlberg-ish. You know how it's all stringy and long? Yeah. It's like that.
You never get like the volume in it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't grow like, it's weird. Like it doesn't grow on the sides.
Oh, it doesn't connect?
Yeah, don't connect.
Oh, that's the bad look.
Yeah.
That just looks, you look homeless.
I met a guy actually. He was a waiter at LOL. He don't work there no more. And dude, he had a massive beard in a few weeks. And I was like, oh, I never knew you could grow a beard. So he started putting that stuff that they put on balding people. He put it on his face.
Wow.
And he said it worked. Another one of my friends got on testosterone and grew a crazy beard.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, dude, you got to get them gels and you rub it on your thighs.
Do you remember like being in like middle school and there would be like everybody's going through puberty, but then there's one kid who just showed up to school and just had a full ass beard.
Oh yeah, I had 2 or 3 friends like that.
It'd always be. I mean, like they were proud like at first, but like I think those kids all kind of realized like something's kind of wrong here.
Yeah, but they would show you, look, that stages of being a man right there.
Yeah,
and you just.
But it would be like
wait.
I don't know, maybe what it was like for you, but for me it would be like the Muslim kids or something. So they show up, but it's not even just like they got the mustache and like a goatee, but it's like a full ass beard,
right?
Like Rick Ross.
Yeah, dude. No, I know exactly. I went to school with like 3 kids like that.
Yeah.
And I'd be so jealous. 13, huge beard.
But it's not. I guess when you're, I don't know what I've never had a beard either. I can't. Yeah, it doesn't even work. But my vision of a beard is like a nice, like crisply,
Yeah.
where it's like all clean looking. But some dudes can go just full on, like Abe Lincoln with it.
My father, he was also never happy with his beard. He'd be like, I can't grow a full beard. And he's like, just runs in the family, But then those kids come over and they're like 12 with a beard. And you don't want them around your mother. That's your father's wife. And, there's this kid with a way nicer beard than your dad. And he's at the house.
The thing about that era, though, is those kids had a full-ass beard, but their voice is still cracking. And they're still like a little kid.
Yeah.
So they still, they're still going through puberty and, I don't know, learning about women or something. But they just look like, Rick Ross.
Yeah, a lot of the kids that grew beards in my school were like regular white kids, though, but they would then they'd dye their hair purple, gauge out their earrings. They were getting tattoos of like Tweety Bird. I remember being in 8th grade, like, man, these kids are really like, they're smoking cigarettes.
Wow.
And then here I am. I got that little thing that with the squares where you open it and it says things. These kids got tattoos they're showing girls. And I'm like, hold on, look at this. And I'm 1, 2, my mother had 6 babies.
Yeah, you're out of touch.
Yeah, dude.
Well, those kids are already like, they're like aspiring to be pro wrestlers or something.
Right.
At that young age.
And I played with toys late too, dude. I remember even around the time girls were coming, I don't know, I just loved toys. And I'd be like 13, 14, and I had older brothers. Girls would be coming over. They'd see me playing with toys. They'd be all confused.
Wow. Well, I think if you would have stuck with that, you would have been able to kind of find a niche with that.
Yeah, selling toys.
Being a grown-ass adult that's in... Well, I think there's a lot more adults now that are into kid stuff. Well, that didn't really come into play until a little bit, like, that was more like with the internet.
Then they sell it at flea markets. That's the old, before the internet, you used to get them toys and sell them at flea markets. That's He-Man.
Well, before the internet, before like Reddit and that kind of like you'd find... Well, now there's like a community of guys like that. Back then, there was just like, those were just weird dudes.
Do you think Pokemon? They're still weird dudes.
That's the thing is there's more weird dudes now than ever, but it's like more accepted
if
you can find other people.
Here's one thing: if you're a guy in your 40s and 50s and you're collecting toys, it seems like it'd be a great babysitter. Probably not a good babysitter, man.
No, this is a guy who's never gonna have kids of his own.
Right?
Yeah, I mean he's he's especially if all of his toys are still in boxes.
Oh yeah, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to keep it out of sunlight or something.
Oh yeah. You're the paint's gonna fade.
Yeah.
Those are those guys that never take off their socks. They'll take a bath with their socks. They got some problem.
What? Yeah, I never heard of that. I don't know. We got to get on this merch thing though.
What about children's books for adults that can't read?
Right.
That could be cool. Like, look, show off.
This is I mean, like, you got to think about how you're going to pitch the merch at the end of the show, too. Your big closer is just you reading Cat in the Hat or something on stage.
Yeah.
And you're showing,
I know, but you know who really kills it with selling merch is these magic people that sell their tricks.
Ah, yeah.
They have an easy trick, the fake thumb they're selling. Yeah. Everybody's buying that damn fake thumb.
Well, it's like you're showing off. You can show the value of the product itself on the spot.
Yeah, and then you just show them, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
And then they'll pull one out. I even have a black thumb.
Wow. You ever see those people on the street where they're selling like a flute? It's like a little, like, I don't know, immigrant kid, and he's playing this weird like wooden flute.
No.
I've seen this a lot in California in like a flea market, and he's a kid and he's just like killing it on this flute. And he's doing all this weird, like, acrobatic shit.
Yeah.
and then like he sells the flute. They're selling the flute for like $10, and then you buy the flute and you try to play it, and it's like, no, this kid's a genius.
Huh.
This flute sounds like shit when I play it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd have to know how to play a flute. Are those easy to play?
But they make it look easy. That's the thing. Is it's a little kid, so it makes it look so fun and like you're gonna express yourself. But then you play it and it sounds like you're blowing into a aluminum can or something.
Yeah, that's the whole trick. I like those people that make stuff out of sand. They make the dogs out of sand on the street corner.
Yeah.
I always felt like that was just impressive. And I like playing with sand, like building sand castles and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I got to think something light, something easy. I mean, drop shipping shirts is the way.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the baseline. But it's like you got to think out of the box, too, because there's more, you're leaving money on the table if you're just doing shirts.
Mood rings?
Well, I think not just like merchandise in terms of stuff you can sell, but just ways that you can monetize your own appearance in terms of being somewhere. Think just how like boxers and wrestlers used to make money in like the 20s, where you show up in a city and it's like, I'll fight 15 men right now.
Right.
Everybody put up $200. I'll crush all of you. So instead of fighting one guy and getting $200, you fight everybody.
Yeah. And then you need the big closer. That's when you fight the alligator at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody knows it doesn't have teeth.
Yeah,
we pulled all its teeth out.
By the time they figure it out, you're on the train.
Right.
You're heading to Springfield.
Somebody's zooming up on a picture. See, nowadays, stuff like that won't work because it'll be on TikTok.
Yeah.
This is why Dominic Leonelli is a cheat. They zoom up. They see an alligator with no teeth.
Yeah, right.
Just gums bleeding.
I'm not buying any more tickets to this show.
Yeah. Pay-per-views sold out.
I don't know. I feel like these days, you think that like you can only scam people once. But then you see Jake Paul. He's got another fight coming up.
Yeah.
This dude, I mean, there's always more money to be made.
How long do you think that's lasting, though? Do you think that's a 15 minutes of fame?
I mean, he's going back. Jake Paul is going back and forth from boxing to pro wrestling and then back to boxing.
He's going to be... How much longer till he's president, you think?
I don't know.
Like, realistically.
20 years?
You think 20?
15 years?
Nah, time's moving quicker.
Well, no, the thing you got to keep in mind about someone like Jake Paul is that he can make way more money not being president. So being president to him, to a guy like that, is like we're talking about the back end of your career. That's when you're on your way down.
But he'd pass laws like Jake Paul Day, and everybody's got to give Jake Paul money.
Everybody has to drink Prime.
It'd be more of a status thing for him. He's already rich.
Right, yeah.
I don't know how much more money he needs.
I mean, that's a poor man's mentality right there.
Just keep going.
Rich people never have enough money.
Yeah, I mean, I see him being president in about 5 years.
It could happen. I mean, he could be a president and still box.
Right.
Yeah, you don't even got to give it up. This country demands, I mean, I think people would be down to watch the president in the ring.
Hell yeah.
Fighting with a YouTuber.
Dude, they really would. That's what America's really coming to. Seeing Jake Paul, honestly.
Or even just like doing that, like the Smack League thing.
Here's the thing. You have to always up it, right?
Yeah.
But you can't. It's going to be Jake Paul's going to be fighting an alligator.
Yeah.
Or like some sort of an animal. It's going to have to be some sort of strange animal that maybe we just discover in the backwoods of Alabama or something.
Yeah.
They steal it, or a gorilla.
Like a Bigfoot kind of thing.
I bet you I could see him fighting a gorilla for real. He would do that on YouTube.
Yeah, I could see that.
The thing is, people don't realize them monkeys and gorillas, they're nuts. They'll bite your appendages off.
They're nuts, but they're also like, if you watch them fight, they don't really have strategy.
Yeah.
I think you could if you take enough time and watch enough, game film, you could figure out what a gorilla's move is going to be.
Yeah.
Gorillas don't watch tape. So they don't come in with a plan.
They're just going after you like crazy.
They also don't pace themselves either. So, I mean, the gorilla might win the first couple rounds, but I think Jake Paul is going to win on points.
Do you think Jake Paul could beat a gorilla?
No, probably not. But it's like, here's the thing is, I mean, it depends on, if we're talking, Marquise of Queensberry rules. I think the gorilla is just going to, it's going to be a DQ.
Either that, or what about, how good do you think a baby gorilla could fight? Like a small one?
Oh, not good.
Yeah, dude, that would be the way to go. Shoot him
That's
up
what
with
would
some
happen.
shit.
That's how it would happen. Where Jake Paul would hype this up for like 6 months. I'm gonna fight a gorilla, and then the day comes and you pay $100 to the pay-per-view, and it's just like a little ass gorilla,
Yeah,
and he's just wailing on it. Yeah,
and the gorilla's got huge gloves on.
yeah, exactly. Then third round DQ,
They put like the executioner mask on the gorilla so it can't bite you.
and then after the day after that on Twitter, everybody's gonna be like, "I'm never paying for a Jake Paul fight ever again."
Yeah, they'll be like, look, the gorilla faked the fall.
But then a couple months later, they'd go through the whole process.
That's
People, the whole moral of all this merch talk, all this Jake Paul talk, people have money.
Yeah.
The problem with us is that we don't have money, so we think everybody is like us. If you think everybody has the same mentality of you, is like, I would never pay $80 for a hoodie. People will pay.
Maybe,
there are so many people who will pay this much money.
what if I just did something different? Like I just sold my phone number and I'm like, yeah, you could FaceTime me.
Yeah, it's basically Cameo.
Yeah, buy my phone number for $20.
Yeah.
Or
Pay me $1,000. You can cut my hair.
Dude, that might work. Maybe I'll sell little flocks of my hair.
Yeah.
You think that's
That'd be
something
like,
nobody's doing?
That'd be like some OnlyFans shit. Girls are selling their socks or something.
Yeah, just snip some hair out.
Yeah. You got to think, what is the most degrading thing I can do to myself?
Go to the museum with the dog.
Yeah, right. How much money? Yeah, exactly. Every merch opportunity.
Yeah. I can't do the OnlyFans. I don't know, man. I got to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe start selling used socks.
Yeah, maybe you just go to someone's house and you eat dinner.
I need to come up with a sneaker deal. That's where the money is.
Right.
I got to learn how to jump real high. What if that was my closer just dunking?
Oh, yeah.
5'5", just slamming. They bring
Well,
a
if
hoop
it's just
out.
like, if you do the whole show, but just in like a gym,
Yeah.
then you bring out your weightlifting belt.
Or something with detailing cars.
$10,000, I'll wash your Chevy for you.
Yeah. Or maybe I could sell like a good carnauba wax.
Oh, yeah.
You put this on your headlights.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
like a little towel or something.
A ShamWow, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I need. Dude, imagine how much money I'd make if I sold a chamois.
Those like fiber cloth.
Or even like a coffee cup. I know that's what a lot of people do, but sometimes basic's the way to go.
Well, I think that's a given. Obviously you got to do T-shirts, coffee mugs,
Fridge magnets.
wristbands, fridge magnet, maybe a book of your sayings,
Yeah.
Cameo, or I'll wish happy birthday to you.
People,
But you got to think next level after that.
people always comment on my teeth. Maybe like a bite imprint on something.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe they just pay you and then they get to see your teeth real close.
Yeah. Or I bite their shoulder. How much do you think people would pay for a shoulder bite?
Yeah.
Like, instead of an autograph?
But you just got to tell them, like, there's only going to be 20 of these shoulder bites available.
Yeah. I'm wiping the shoulder off with alcohol. We got to do this.
People are lining up in Soho just to get their shoulders bitten by Dom.
Yeah. Go ahead. Get in the meat of it.
Yeah.
They would, too. Little pop-up shop.
Yep.
I show up. People are like, oh, you look a lot shorter in real life. That's one thing I got to get used to.
Everybody looks shorter in real life.
Yeah.
That's part of being famous.
Somebody
Comes with
was
the territory.
just telling me that. They're like, wow, I don't know. I expect you to be like normal size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
thought
just
you
told
were-
me
I
that.
thought you were adult size.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, it's like you're on the phone, but you're in real life. People are always confused. It is so funny when you see them really looking at you like, wow, you're just out in the wild like
Wow.
this. Usually you're on my phone, but now you're here.
Yeah, you're all three-dimensional.
Yeah.
I can reach out and touch you.
And it's just cool for about 35 seconds. And then,
Right.
then they see I'm human just like them.
That's why you got about 35 seconds to sell them as much stuff as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy some chocolate
See,
bars.
you start scheming with the energy drinks, the medicine, lawsuits start coming in.
Right.
Then you got, my son's growing an arm out of his back. Then you see him, I just had the drink.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, clearly that's not for me. But there's a video of him with the drink. Lawsuit.
Well, then, you sell yourself as a doctor. I'll take care of that arm for you.
Honestly, the way to go would be get a little talk show like Steve Harvey.
Oh, 5 talk shows
I could be like,
Steve
what
Harvey.
you doing with all this mess?
Yeah.
Now he's fooling around over here. You acting a fool.
Yeah.
Let me just say, you acting a fool.
Cook this man dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't cook. You don't clean.
I gotta get one of them thick mustaches.
Yeah.
Really, the move with the Steve Harvey talk show is no matter what anybody says, you gotta act like it was crazy and wrong.
Yeah.
Well, hold up. Did you just hear what this fool just said?
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about good day, sir. What time are you living in?
And you go on this long ass rant, but in the end, you say like, you talk about God.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta cook for this man. You gotta clean for this man. But deep down, it's all about the Lord.
Yeah. God is good. Then you
Yeah.
hear the audience all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the end of your career. It's when you become the Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just position yourself as some sort of a spiritual guru.
Well, you got to start getting nice suits. You got to get the cigar, write the little books. Dom teaches you about love.
Yeah.
And
Think
then,
like a man.
yeah. And then I'm like, listen, sometimes women need time.
That's what's so funny about all this fame that you're getting is that eventually people are going to start coming to you for actual advice.
Dude,
Not even joke advice, but like real advice. Like, I'm going through it with my wife right now. What should I do?
It's already happening, dude.
Yeah.
I got a dude. Somehow my number, if you just Google my name, my phone number comes up.
Don't put
that. So either way, people call me randomly. They'll be like, Dom, pick up. And I don't ever save phone numbers. So
Yeah.
I'll open it up and I'll be like, who is this? They'll be like, it's Mike. And I'll be like, who? Have we met? They'll be like, I just Googled your name. Your number came up. And I'm just like, what's up? And he's like, dude, man, I gotta figure some shit out, dude. I'm like, I'm changing oil at a place, and they're not giving me a raise, and my girl's pregnant. I need a route. It always comes down to they want to be an influencer, and they're like,
yeah.
what should I do?
Which hashtag
Can you
should I
loan me
use?
$500 to get started? I'm sure somebody helped you out. I'm like, wait, do you have a phone?
Right.
What do you need the $500 for?
What'd you tell him?
I had to quit responding. I don't know if you're out there listening, I know you're probably a fan. I just don't know what to tell you.
You don't know what
I'm busy.
you don't know what to tell him unless he comes up with some money.
Right,
For
yeah.
a price.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
that could be it. Like, you could talk your problems out with Dom, like, Miss Cleo, call me now. I'll do a thing.
Oh, it'd be like Jordan Peterson or something.
Yeah, what's he even do?
People like, you pay enough money, then you can like FaceTime with him and you ask him about like, why won't this girl at my school date me?
People really do that with him.
Yeah, and then you like tell him like, oh, you got to wear a suit and you got to clean your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Women like a guy who's in charge.
I mean, is Jordan Peterson, is he getting girls?
Well, I mean, he's like a guru at this point. So it's like he can charge like a crazy amount of money just for him to tell you like you should eat some vegetables.
Is that the dude with like the weird Canadian accent? Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah.
Surely
he's always crying and shit.
Yeah. That's the one that sent him mega viral.
Yeah.
I need something of me crying, getting bullied somewhere.
He's talking about like Toy Story or something.
Nobody cares about a man. That's what it really is.
Yeah.
Think about the last time that you just went up to a random man and hugged him. Start crying. Nobody hugs me.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, you sell a couple T-shirts.
Yep.
If only.
And then you're on Rogan.
Yeah.
He's pulling up your stuff. Hold on, Jamie, pull this up. It's me crying.
Yeah. Buy this man salami.
Yeah, dude, that's the move, man.
It's got spices in it.
Honestly, see, the thing with the food move is everybody's going to always be buying food. They always want to eat.
Yep.
They're going to get it. Like, there was this Charlie Staples. Man, it was one of the best barbecue sauces. If you're anywhere now they closed down the restaurant or they moved it, but they sell the sauce. They mass produce the sauce, and it's everywhere. And dude, it's some of the best barbecue sauce.
Huh.
But that's the move. I mean, they were having a restaurant, struggling to make ends meet.
Yep.
Mass produced barbecue sauce.
They just throw your face on there.
Yeah.
Dom sauce.
And then, next thing you know, you're in the Bahamas earning 15%.
Yeah.
You got your little Korean wife, and you're good. And she handles all the orders because she knows to most people, this is just sauce, but to her, this is money.
Yeah.
This is like a real thing. You got to be like, email my assistant, and it's your Korean wife.
And then next thing you know, she just took all the money.
Yep. Once you get to that age.
You get to that age, and it's like you don't even know the password anymore.
Because, women, they stay healthy. They play racquetball and pickleball.
Yep.
And then meanwhile they're letting you eat what you want, cooking you lots of meats.
Yep.
And then you get unhealthy, you get the gout.
Yep.
Rich man's disease. You start shriveling up a little bit, getting that hospice maybe 10 years too early.
Well, I mean, like, it's a pretty good life until then, though.
Yeah.
We're not saying this is a bad thing. I mean,
right.
It's just kind of how it goes.
And honestly, yeah, this is it.
It's not that bad.
You're sitting in hospice and nobody's visiting you.
Could be worse.